Hey, beautiful soul. Let's talk about something every narcissistic abuse survivor faces. And that question is, what if it happens again? Now, when you meet new people, maybe they are friends, maybe they are partners, maybe they are even spiritual mentors, you might feel hopeful, but also hesitant. And so basically you are feeling hopeful and you're also feeling hesitant, and that's normal. And but today I want to speak directly to the part of you that wants to overlook red flags, just to feel loved again, just to feel accepted again, just to belong again. And this video is your permission to stop ignoring the warning signs, to stop ignoring the red flags, because it is a pointer to the fact that you've got to be careful in that new relationship. Also, ignoring red flags is how we end up wounded all over again. It ends up repeating the cycle of abuse in our lives. And so we've got to be careful when it comes to ignoring red flags. And so why should you not ignore red flags? Why should you not ignore red flags? That's a big question that I want to answer in this video today. But before I do, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Iyabo, and by the grace of the Almighty, I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor. And on this channel, I share narcissistic abuse recovery tips as well as biblical wisdom for dealing with the scourge, the pain, and the mess of narcissistic abuse. And if you are serious about healing from narcissistic abuse, you're gonna hit the subscribe button right away in order for you to become a member of this strong and supportive community where we hold hands virtually in our fight against narcissistic abuse and emotional trauma. And after subscribing, you're gonna turn on notifications to be notified when we go live, because we go live every Saturday. It's 12 noon WAT. And this Saturday we're gonna talk about, does God want me to stay married to a narcissist? That is gonna be an explosive session, and I see God releasing his people through the bonds of narcissism, releasing his people from the bonds of narcissism. And so do enjoy to join live and also tag a friend. Thank you so much for joining in advance as well as subscribing to this channel. So what are the reasons why you should not ignore red flags? The first is, red flags are a revelation. They are not coincidences. I can call them God incidences, and red flags aren't random. They are signals from God, and that is why I call them God incidences. They are your intuition. They are signals from God, your intuition, as well as your nervous system, because your nervous system knows what it has passed through and doesn't want to repeat, and so it's flashing the signal, red flag, flashing it repeatedly, that be careful in this new relationship. Now, when someone disrespects your time, when someone crosses your boundaries, when someone love bombs you or mocks your feelings, it's not just a quirk. And just a quirk is in quotes and unquotes. It's a preview of coming distraction. And so remember, the devil doesn't always show up with horns. Sometimes he comes disguised as your dream come true. And dream come true is in quotes and unquote. It comes as your dream come true, quotes and unquotes. And now, second reason is, survivors are vulnerable to repeat cycles. As a survivor of narcissistic abuse, you are vulnerable to a repeat cycle, and you got to know that in advance, and you got to prepare yourself against having a repeat cycle. Now, after narcissistic abuse, we can normalize chaos. We can also normalize the highs. We can also excuse the lows. We can also second guess ourselves. We can doubt ourselves. We can doubt our intuition. We no longer trust our guts, and that makes us targets for new manipulators. And this is why discernment isn't optional. Discernment is compulsory, and it's highly essential to be discerning. And you're not paranoid, you are protected. And ignoring a red flag because, quote and unquote, you don't want to be judgmental, only puts you back in a place of bondage, and you definitely don't want to be in a place of bondage. Also, the third reason you should not ignore red flags is because your peace is more important than their potential. Your peace, yes, is more important than their potential. And sometimes we stay in toxic dynamics because we see potential in the person. But let me say this gently: You cannot heal someone who is harming you. I repeat, you cannot heal someone who is harming you. If someone shows you a red flag, it doesn't matter how charming, it doesn't matter how spiritual, it doesn't matter how broken they are. If your peace disappears in their presence, that's a sign, not a puzzle to solve. If your peace disappears in their presence, that's a sign, not a puzzle to solve. And the fourth reason why you should not ignore red flags is because God gives warnings before the storm. God is always giving warnings, but sometimes we don't listen. And so the fourth reason why you should not ignore red flags is because God gives warnings before the storm. Now, you may have prayed for healing, you may also have prayed for protection, and you may also have prayed for better relationships. And guess what? God is answering that prayer by showing you who people really are. Don't ask God for deliverance and then ignore the exit signs he gives you. And so when he gives you the exit sign, quickly exit, because every red flag is a loving whisper from heaven. And daughter, don't go down that road again. Son, don't go down that road again. And so that's the whisper from heaven. And so heed to that whisper. Also, boundaries are an act of faith. That is the fifth reason why you should not ignore red flags in new people. And when you say no to red flags, you're saying yes to yourself, basically, and to the future God has for you. You are not being harsh. Yes, that's the honest truth. And you're also not being cold, and you are not also being too picky. You are being wise, you are being healed, and you are being holy. And let people earn access to your heart. Don't just allow people in easily. Let them earn access to your heart through their consistent actions, not just their words alone, through their consistent actions. When you see that their actions tally with their words consistently, they can earn access to your heart. But don't give away your heart just like that. Let their consistency confirm their character. I repeat, let their consistency confirm their character. Don't be swayed by words. Words are cheap, and don't be swayed by their potential as well. No matter how much potential they have or show, don't be swayed by their potential. Don't be swayed by their words. Now, if this message is speaking to you, yes, you watching me, I want you to comment below. I choose discernment over desperation. I choose discernment over desperation. And because you deserve relationships that nourish you, not deplete you. Yes, because you deserve relationships that nourish you, that energize you, that make you feel complete, that make you feel like a real human being, and not deplete you. You don't need relationships that deplete you. And if this video reminded you to trust your God again, to listen to your intuition again, to trust your intuition again, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and also share it with another survivor who needs to hear this. Now, you didn't survive all that trauma just to get rewounded by someone new. Just always remember that. You've gone through a lot, and you didn't go through all that crappy stuff in order for you to be rewounded all over again by someone new. And you don't owe anyone a second chance at your peace. Yes. Also, don't dim your discernment to make someone else feel comfortable. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. You've done the work. You're doing the healing, and now it's time to walk in wisdom. You remember to walk in wisdom. Very, very important. Red flags are not just red carpets. Red flags are not red carpets. I repeat, red flags are not red carpets. Don't walk down that aisle. You no longer belong there. You're worthy of safe. You're worthy of healthy. You're worthy of healing connections. And those begin when you stop ignoring the warnings. Now, our next video in this Don't Make These Mistakes series is why you should not isolate yourself as a narcissistic abuse survivor. So why should you not isolate yourself? Come watch and listen to what I've got to say, and do ensure to watch all the 11 videos in the series, which I call Don't Make These Mistakes series, because it's going to empower you for healing from narcissistic abuse. And I want to thank you for watching this video. It means a lot that you took out the time to watch it, and I'll see you in my next.